This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by the Parker Group.
Well, CoastLife, we always like to keep you informed of things that are going on, whether it's locally or, how certain things happening in the world affect certain industries. And with the government shutdown, the world of real estate is, affected to some degree. So we brought in the experts, of course. We've got Dustin Parker with the Parker Group joining us today. And Dustin, the government shutdown is affecting the world of real estate. How are we seeing this affect us locally? How are we seeing this, sort of affect things on a more national scale as well?
Yeah, it's been really interesting and not in a great way, as we kind of navigate through this in several industries, but real estate particularly has been affected quite a bit. And I think the single word that can kind of describe the impact of it is really delays.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is, especially if you are a buyer who is getting a government-backed loan, whether that's FHA, USDA, VA, those things are just taking a lot longer, and some of them have come to a halt completely. If you're looking to get flood insurance, most people don't realize, but there's federal agencies that actually regulate and administer flood insurance as well. And so those things potentially could lapse over time as well. And so mortgages that require having flood insurance before they can move forward, those transactions are going to be delayed.
Yeah, so is there anything that anything else that we kind of need to be aware of when it comes to navigating this, either as a buyer or a seller, or is, the bottom line kind of just to bring your patience with you when it comes to this whole process?
Yeah, I think I kind of equate it to when we were practicing real estate back in COVID. We had special addenda that would extend transactions based on things that were just outside of buyers and sellers' controls. And I would say, as you're entering transactions, as you're thinking about buying a home, or if you're thinking about selling home, just expect that whatever date is in the contract for settlement probably won't be hit unless it's a cash transaction or it's not affected specifically by the government shutdown.
Yeah. So I guess, how else is this affecting us? Maybe like locally, are you seeing this already sort of take effect other than just these delays?
Yeah, I think on a more practical side, people are just really uncertain right now with the economy, with the government shutdown. They're just not really sure what to do. And so when you're thinking about making the biggest purchase of your life or potentially selling your home, people want certainty. They want to know what to expect coming forward. And right now, they just don't have that. And so the days on market for homes that are for sale right now is quite a bit longer than it had been just a few years ago. And so if you're thinking about selling, just expect that you're going to be on the market for quite some time. Prices have kind of flattened out a little bit. Depending on what zip code you're in, prices have actually come down just a little bit. But ultimately, things are just taking a lot longer to sell. And so as long as you have those expectations coming into it, then you're going to be in good shape.
That's good to know. I think that's also one of the big advantages if you are, preparing to buy or sell a home, to go with you guys at the Parker Group, because you guys do, education is at the forefront of a lot of what you do, whether that's for your real estate agents or it's for, you and Rachel yourselves, that you guys are staying informed on things like this so you can walk real estate agents or buyers through this process.
Yeah, and in every market, every economy, there's always great opportunities for those that are looking to. And so especially if you're a buyer today in today's market, you have a lot more optionality than you did just a few years ago. So there's much more homes for sale so that you can kind of take your time and kind of sift through the inventory instead of having to rush into a decision. Because what we found is actually during COVID and in hotter markets, like 50% of buyers actually regret the purchase decision that they make. And so now you can really think that process through before you jump into something that maybe that you weren't quite ready for.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks that I know that did purchase a house during the COVID times, you had to act fast or you weren't getting a house at all. And now down the road, maybe sometimes you did overlook an inspection somewhere that maybe should have been done. And you're like, why is my porch collapsing? Yeah. So it's okay to take that time. And I do think people just, need to be patient and expect those delays and a little bit of a longer wait time. Is there anything else that people need to know about how the government shutdown might be affecting the world of real estate right now as we know it?
Yeah, I would just say when ultimately things do kind of turn back on and the government gets back to work, we are going to see kind of a flood of transactions likely to happen because there's been just kind of pent up demand. There's been pent up processing as it navigates through these different government agencies. And so right now is kind of a lull in the market. And I think that's a good opportunity, like I said, to kind of take your time and explore the inventory that exists, because when things do kick back into gear, I think it's going to kind of be flooded with some activity.
Great. And if somebody does feel maybe they need a little bit more hand holding right now to sort of walk them through all of this and all the information and how it's affecting you, and they want to get a hold of you guys at the Parker Group, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, just visit our website, theparkergroup.com. It's really easy to get to, and we have lots of information there, but any of our agents would love to work with you and kind of help you navigate through this process.
Fantastic. Well, Dustin Parker with the Parker Group, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for always, keeping your finger on the pulse of all things going on in the world of real estate. I feel like I learn something new every time we chat.
Thank you.
Of course. We do have more CoastLife coming your way, though. More that you don't want to miss.